Welcome back to the So Far So Good podcast. My name is Christopher Coombs.
And my name is Gaurav Khazanchi. Welcome back to the So Far So Good podcast, everybody.
It's good having you guys tuning in once again. I can hear your smiling faces and voices on this beautiful Thursday for us today.
Yes, that's right. All cards on the table. It is currently Thursday, so it's good to hear your smiling faces as usual, like Chris says.
That's right. Now I'm gonna go straight in here with my introductory question to you because it's quite big.
Okay.
I'm interested to see. I don't know if I don't think you'll have an answer off the top of your head.
Okay. I feel like mine's also big because it'll require an explanation. Maybe we'll break the record again on the So Far So Good podcast of the longest intro ever. But let's get into it.
All right. My question to you is, what is the worst thing that you have ever experienced in your entire life? The worst thing.
Man, this is hectic, man.
Yep. I'm not fucking around today.
Yeah, like how... Is there any sort of guidelines you're giving me?
Nah, no guidelines.
Okay.
You can interpretate it how you want.
Interpretate?
You can interpret it however you like.
Alright.
But it needs to be the worst thing that you can possibly think of that you've been involved in.
Okay. I did, one time in my life, actually pay money to see the Fantastic Four remake in cinemas. And I think that is one of the worst things to happen in the world. Because like I said in the past...
That is...
Okay.
That's a cop-out of an answer.
Okay. Let me
get
think.
what you're saying.
Okay, look, the worst thing is... I reckon the worst thing in my life, pretty heavy, but when my dogs passed away.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, they live full lives, but, it's definitely sad to lose a pet.
They were a part of your life for so long, man.
100%. Like, 15 and 17 years, that's a full life.
That's human years, yeah?
That's human years, that's right. Right.
So they were actually pretty old.
Yeah. I mean, in dog years, there's so many different ways of measuring it now. Last time I was at the vet, it's weight and age and something, and the first 2 years is different to the rest. And if you're a heavier dog, then it's less. I don't know, man. Sometimes it gets complicated, but I think
it's just ridiculous. Do you actually know the whole reason behind it? Because why don't they just use normal years and say, a dog normally lives to like 16, for example?
Well, they do, but they do it for like equivalent sake. So it's like if the dog's 10 years old in human years, he's going to age faster, so you can expect certain things like, I don't know, arthritis, things like that.
But literally every single animal has a different life expectancy. Do we really need a scale for it?
Yeah, well, I reckon because since there's such a, common household pet, just to be on an understanding level, I think it's quite valuable.
Okay, well let's use tigers as an example. How many tigers are owned in America, which we now know because of Tiger King? They don't.
Right.
They don't scale it to human years. They just say, look, average like 20 years.
Yeah. Well, that's right. But
so why do they do it?
I guess
I swear, dogs is the only animal that we actually do it for.
Cats as well. I've seen it for cats. There was a whole chart on cat life years. Yeah. The same vet chart. And I just think because they're so common, people would like to know. Whereas, yes, there are a lot of tigers in America, but it's not that common in the world to be a pet.
I just don't understand why someone would choose to have a cat over a dog as a pet.
I'm going to 100% agree. I'm definitely a dog person. If you have the
choice, why would you choose a cat?
Well, I think some people just like a simple pet,
Less maintenance.
Less maintenance, yeah. The cat sort of does the same thing, but the cat's also good company, But I'm a dog person, so I'm going to always choose a dog.
Yeah, I would definitely say dog as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's probably about time, I reckon. Okay, now, my question. Completely different topic, and you may you may want to explain different ways, and I will allow that because I'll understand completely.
Okay. Yep.
Now, this question is specifically to you. Like, don't concern the whole general population. You specifically, okay?
Okay.
So when you personally, in text messages or whatever other messaging app, write ha 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 or lol or any of the variations, are you actually laughing in real life?
Generally not. Yeah. No. No. Nah.
Never. So,
Well, it has to be pretty good to get a laugh out of me if I'm by myself and just reading a message. I may pop a smile. I pop a smile quite often, actually. But to get a laugh out of me from a message, that takes a lot.
It's it's true.
I'd say maybe once a month that might happen.
And in my experience in messaging you, whether it's one-on-one or in group, you don't really send a haha or a lol that much. Or a LMAO. You don't send much of those.
Because I'm not like you. I don't give out pity laughs.
Nah. See, my explanation is different. When I send you a full caps lock, ha 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 ha, I'm legitimately laughing. Now, my
So
pity
you're legitimately laughing like 20 times a day?
Exactly. So, yeah, 100%. So I will send you a caps lock, ha ha ha, if I've either, chuckled a bit or I've laughed for like, 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah,
but
I'll agree.
when I send you a lowercase ha 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 ha, that's like me going a smile and a ha. Like, yeah, that was good. I guess you could put that in the pity version. And I don't really use a lol or Rofflameo or LMAO, I don't really use those.
Rofflameo, remember those?
Right,
yeah, I use lol if in like a condescending way.
Yeah, I use it, in like a sarcastic
way. Yep.
Yeah.
Sarcastic way.
Yeah.
Look, I will have to agree with you on all of those, but I don't understand how you actually laugh out loud multiple times a day at messages.
Look, man, I've got a lot of funny friends.
I don't think I can believe that.
So
you're by yourself. True. Okay, let's say you're by yourself in your room, reading a message. It sounds like it's pretty easy to make you laugh.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to make me laugh. That's true. And I think the biggest thing I do is if something's made me laugh so much and I'm continuously laughing, probably like, crying from laughter, I will just send you a video of me laughing because I don't have I do
that as well very rarely, but
I mean that's a huge one. That doesn't happen that often, but it's happened more than 3 times in the recent past. So, that's your huge compliment, and that's me laughing so much I can't physically type in a ha 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 in caps lock. So that's my justification. But that's right. Whenever you see a capital ha ha ha, I've either chuckled or genuinely laughed. I don't give those out lightly.
Well, I'll take your word for it.
All right.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I need evidence for that.
No, all right.
You do laugh a lot. You do chuck a lot of pity laughs out there, I've got to say.
No. It's not always a pity laugh.
Anyone that knows Gaurav will 100% agree with me. He chucks out pity laughs left, right, and center.
It's like a chuckle, but that doesn't deserve a. Okay, I've sort of contradict myself. That fake chuckle, not the genuine chuckle, doesn't get a capital ha 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 ha.
It just gets a lowercase ha ha ha.
It gets a lowercase ha ha. I appreciate the humor, but I haven't laughed out loud.
Okay.
Yeah.
I suppose I can somewhat agree with that.
Thank you very much. And I'm glad you agree with my laugh hierarchy, I guess, my laugh list.
Yeah, no problems at all. All right, we are just under the 10-minute mark, so shall we get into it?
Let's get into it. So far, so good.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you again for tuning in to the So Far So Good podcast. Now, Gaurav Khazanchi.
Yes.
I believe you wanted to follow up something from a previous episode.
Yes, correct. Now, last episode, we talked about the growth of our beards and the, troubles and the positives, all of that stuff. You remember, right?
Absolutely. I put a photo up on Instagram. If you haven't seen it, jump on our Instagram. We've got a few interesting comments.
That's right. Now, what I want to bring up is actually in relation to that photo.
Okay.
So, we did say last step, we'll just post an update photo. Because we posted one before when we had both smaller beards. And then we said, we'll post an update. So then I was like, it was a couple of days later, and I was like, I need to send Chris a photo of my beard. So I'll do that. So I sent you one photo, and then I realized, oh my God, I wasn't smiling in the photo. So I sent you another photo of me smiling. And then, I don't know, a day later, or whenever it was posted, I saw the photo you posted. Because you sent me back a photo as well of like you just showing me a beard, and I think you were smiling. I don't know, but you only sent me one photo back. I'm like, sweet, bro, we're looking good with our beards. We're rocking it. They're long. They look good. You look Amish. It's all the same. So then I saw the photo on Instagram, and you had taken one photo of yourself not smiling and one of you smiling.
Because I thought you did it on purpose. We've got him with the capital ha ha ha. We've got him.
Legit, man. That made me ha 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 in real life. But I didn't comment because I don't think any of our listeners would have understood what we meant.
I dead set thought you did it on purpose, so I thought, I'll do the same.
No. No, I sent you the photo and then I'm like, oh wait. In my mind, I thought, I'll send you another one because I wasn't smiling. And then I sent you the picture of me smiling, and then I said, that's one of me smiling. And then next minute, you put this side-by-side comparison. Which, at the end of the day, I don't mind, because it shows what the beard looks like in a, normal resting face, and then when you smile, because your muscles change when you smile.
Well, I gotta say, I've just gone back to the message just to get some evidence here. So, Gaurav sent a message saying, beard update pic, then sent the photo of him not smiling. Then he sent a message saying, smiling one, and then sent a photo of him smiling. So I just thought it was normal. I replied with, holy grizzly bear, because that beard looks like fur. It's humongous.
Yeah. That was after I brushed it and oiled it lightly and, all of that. That was a whole treatment because I was like, I'm showing this photo, so I've got it.
It looks a bit wavy, almost like it curls at the end sort of thing. Which
is
about where mine is at as well.
Yeah, pretty much. So, look, I found it very amusing when I saw the photo.
Yeah, but Gaurav's absolutely taken over me on the length of the beard. I knew he would.
It.
I knew he would. I thought it would have been quicker, but he got there.
Yeah, I did get there. I didn't actually think, because you had quite a large head start, I didn't think I would catch up, but I really have overtaken you. So I'm glad I'm winning in at least one thing. So what's the scores all around? Gaurav 2, Chris 2?
For, what's that for?
I don't know, like every challenge we've ever done?
It's not a challenge.
Well, you can call it a challenge.
It's 2-0 anyway.
No. See, I won...
We've done 2 races and I won both.
No. The second one's still sort of in discussion.
No, it's not in discussion. We've discussed it live on the podcast with Soft Souls, and they've agreed that you got disqualified. So,
but I won the beer tasting challenge because you got them all wrong.
It's not. It wasn't a challenge.
It was a challenge for you.
No, it has to be a known challenge in the score before. Like, we have to know it's a challenge before it begins.
Yeah, but
I could just stitch you up right now and then say, I get a point.
And I'll accept that.
Nah, absolutely not.
No, because I know...
It needs to be a prepared challenge.
I mean, the beer one was
official.
Epically prepared. You described the cups as if it was, looking at, old school artwork.
Yeah, it was a bit of banter. Anyway,
okay.
It's 2-0. We'll do another race when we can get out of the house.
Yeah.
But I do want to do... We haven't actually discussed anything about the posted photo. So I wanted to do essentially... I was going to say a live reaction. I mean, we are recording it, but anyway. It's live to us. a live reaction to the comments on our photo here. So the first comment is, "What the caveman?" Now I gotta say that's actually not the first time we've heard that. Because
true.
when we were somewhat out of restrictions, we did go to our friend Ben's house for a barbecue. There was a couple other people there that we sort of knew, and then they straight away said, "You guys look like cavemen."
Yeah.
Because we had walked in together while everyone else was mostly there, and then we both walked in, sat down with our beards, and we got called cavemen. So it's not the first time.
And not an insult either. I mean, without cavemen, us normal people wouldn't be here that are not cavemen. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
They are our forefathers.
We paved the way. Literally. We paved it in the cave.
We paved the way while they caved the way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
there.
Another comment was Jesus. So a lot of those, and I think that comment's meant to say Jesus.
I think you're looking deep into this.
And then I was on the Instagram duties that day, and I replied saying, "The beard is now a religion."
Yeah, gonna have to agree with that.
So Jesus would be proud.
All right, let's pick your favorite comment.
Well, the next comment was Coombs has become Amish.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, so did you do agree with that, do you?
Oh, 100%. I'm pretty sure I said that to you when you sent me the photo yourself. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's just a description. It's like being called cavemen. Yeah,
and there was a couple of nice comments other than that, but so
let's just say there was, several hundred nice comments after those.
Now, I reckon my favorite was "What the Caveman." Because I'm proud of it, man. I used to not be able to grow any sort of facial hair, so
yeah. I'm proud of you. I am proud.
I mean, look, it's not great. I'm not saying it's amazing. And other people have complimented me having the beard. I say thank you, but deep down, I know that they're just trying to make me feel better. But that's okay. I'm comfortable in my own skin, or should I say my own facial hair.
No, I wouldn't say they're lying. I think it's a compliment on the effort, because it's not easy to do.
It's more like something's changed, so I'll compliment them on it to make them feel better.
Yeah, fair call.
Which is fine. I appreciate that. That means they care about me,
100%.
So it is what it is. But yeah, what was your favorite comment?
Yeah, I like "What the Caveman" as well. Got to give that a thumbs up. But I also haven't read them all, so I'm going by what you've given me right now.
Do me a favor. I don't know. Did you read the caption of the photo?
I did. I don't remember it.
All right, go back and have a quick read.
Yeah.
And read that out live on the podcast.
Okay. So now the caption says, "Our beard updates. I can officially feel me beard blowing in the wind."
That's a bloody typo.
It sounds like, you're talking in beard language, like a pirate, I feel...
Somewhat.
Yar, I feel me wind on me shoulder.
Oh, Jesus.
Because you're like a pirate with the beard.
Anyway, the reason I made that the caption is because, no joke, I went for a run on, I think it was Monday, actually. I went for a run on Monday, and no joke, I could feel my beard blowing in the wind.
Yeah. You know what I realized? When I go for a walk or something, like dew forms around my beard because there's so much moisture in the cold air.
Really?
Yeah.
That is hectic.
Yeah,
Not
so I think
anymore, now that you've got to wear the face masks. Not anymore.
Exactly. So now the face masks will catch everything. So, that's fine. Could be a good thing.
It's a good beard shield as well.
The face mask? Oh, yeah. It stops it from
the beard is a protected species. It needs to be looked after.
Exactly right. Like a caveman if you found one.
That's right.
Now,
Gaurav.
Yes.
I believe you've got an interesting story.
So, yes, not too much of a story, but more of an update of something I promised you specifically.
Okay.
Okay, now many episodes ago, you told me that I had way too many emails in my inbox.
No way. You did not.
Possibly.
You did not.
Now,
For those listening, if you haven't listened to that episode, I basically spent about 10 minutes just having a go at Gaurav because of how unorganized his emails were. Because I'm an email Nazi. I need that to be like really, really neat.
yeah, correct. Now, I agree as well. I did have folders like payslips and receipts, things like that. I had that. But then at some point in my life, I stopped organizing my mail. And then I think, when I was going through my inbox the other day, there was about, I don't know, I think 9 to 11,000 emails.
Oh my OCD.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of it was junk. A ton of it was just junk I just had to delete. Just,
Okay.
things that you accidentally subscribe to or things that auto-subscribe when you buy something. A lot of it was that nonsense, so I deleted it. And that was got to be more than half. Then a lot of it was just receipts, which I organized, payslips, which I organized. I got to say, I got lazy about halfway through and I just started deleting things. Because if it's that old and it's been there, I don't need it.
True.
Now, like you advised, if it seemed important, I just archived it. So there's probably about, I don't know, maybe 200 emails that I archived. And that's all to do with, contractual stuff or work stuff or receipt stuff, that sort of stuff.
I like it.
And at the moment, in my inbox, there's only one email, which is a reminder, and I've just kept it there so I remember. And
one
then
email.
Just
is that because it's something that you need to follow up on?
It's something that I need to follow up on after the date has passed, so it's just there.
Yeah.
Once the date arrives, I will follow up on it.
Okay, nice one. Now, what you need to do every single day is when you get emails, if it's something that is not necessary, unsubscribe right then and there, every single time.
I remember you advising me that last time as well. And already, since clearing out my inbox, I have unsubscribed to 7 subscriptions.
Is that all?
So far. I did a lot while I was clearing out my emails.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So there, I don't know, I reckon all up there's been more than 20. But in the last few days itself, 7 unsubscriptions.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, thank you again. That's got to be...
It's good. Yeah, it's good that it's not that many because that means you didn't have too many to begin with.
Yeah. A lot of it gets auto spammed, which I just delete that spam folder, of course.
I actually wanted to bring up spam with you. Do you get a lot of spam?
Apparently I do, because every time I open up my spam email, it's full of spam.
Yeah, I'm telling you now. Let me have a look.
And I think 70% of those spam emails are, do you want to buy Bitcoin? I can sell you Bitcoin. And obviously it's this stuff that I've never signed up to because I have not really signed up to anything to do with Bitcoin. I mean, I've done a bit of Googling, which doesn't require a sign up. So it's just one of those classic spam emails.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm looking at my spam right now. I've got 9 already from today.
Yep.
Yesterday I've got 12. 12 from yesterday. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 from the day before. It just goes on and on.
Just goes on, yeah.
And the problem with the spam ones is you can't necessarily unsubscribe.
Yeah,
There's not really anything you can do.
Yeah.
It's kind of just irritating, I guess.
So it's good that it does auto spam because you can just occasionally delete the whole folder.
But the issue could arise if something goes into your spam one day that you kind of needed.
Yeah.
And you didn't realize it might be really hard to find it.
That's true. But then those sort of things you end up finding in spam, like I'm waiting for an email, it's not in my inbox, maybe it's in spam.
True.
So, I'll tell you what.
It depends on what email you're with. I know Gmail are really good with what they spam and what they don't. But
yeah, that's true.
I do know that Hotmail spams a lot of stuff that isn't actually spam, so don't get caught out with that.
I've noticed that too. I've noticed that a lot.
Yeah,
one of the worst spams, well, I don't know about worst, because you just have to ignore it. So it's a spam email, and the subject line of that spam is my email password. And then it's someone in the email is saying, I know your password. Give me your money or I will hack your account. But you literally just have to ignore it and then just, I guess, change your password, which is what I did.
Did it say your password on it?
Yeah, so the subject line is my legitimate password.
Yeah, someone did that to me as well.
Yeah,
and I freaked out. I was like, how?
I got scared, but I remember, just listening to all these hacking experts and whatnot. They say if you get that, just ignore it and just for safety, change your password. Because if you don't ignore it, then they'll just keep attacking you. So that sort of thing. You just have to ignore it and then they can't really do anything.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm surprised they don't actually do anything with it.
Yeah. Well, I guess, their target audience are people who are going to open it and then, get super scared and then be like, I'll give you anything, don't take my emails, that sort of thing. Which, does happen a lot. A lot of phishing scams and all those sort of scams.
Do you reckon people actually pay that out?
Oh, 100%. There'd be people especially maybe older people who aren't that familiar with the internet. There was this scam going around where they would call up international students and say, if you don't pay $2,000, they'll pretend like they're the government and they'll say, if you don't pay $2,000, they're going to deport you back to your country. And then they'll get scared and they'll be like, I can't get deported, take my money, because they think you're the government. And then they've just given some scammer their money. So
that's actually savage, man.
It's
fair enough you want to scam someone, but that's too far, man.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of it myself. I get so many in my spam box where it's just, we're the ATO, you have some money you can collect, but you need to send us money to confirm it. Things like that. I mean, you just got to be aware. Fake bank emails, get so many of those.
Yeah, it's actually ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
all right,
just stay away.
That's really good to hear. Really good to hear. And I implore, if that's a word, to everyone listening to do the same. Keep your emails in check. It'll take a weight off your shoulders. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, 100%. Feel organized and you just feel refreshed.
Absolutely. Now, we do want to have a quick discussion regarding the AFL footy tips because this year has been 2020. I mean, there's no way to describe it. We all know what it's been like.
Yeah.
The football started the first season. No, sorry. The first round. They played the first round and then it got cut from there and now it's come back. As of recently, they've had to move every team to New South Wales or Queensland or Western Australia. I believe that was something like that.
Okay, I didn't even think of that.
None of them are in Victoria. That's all. That's as far as I know.
Yeah.
So there is, because Victoria is pretty much game over.
Yeah.
Completely. Yeah. We're back to stage 3, completely locked down. We can only wear face masks outside of the home.
Yeah, basically. Like you have to. Yeah.
So So the footy tips this season not going too well. I don't think people are too interested in it. I mean, to be honest, I've only watched a couple of games.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 games the whole season so far.
To be honest as well,
sad.
I've not watched any games since it was back. And usually I wouldn't watch many, but I'd watch maybe 1 or 2 at people's houses or even watch some live games because you can. But I've watched none. But I am keeping up to date with tipping and that's about it. But what I find really amusing is how they're going about the whole game. So do you want to explain that?
Yeah, so there's a few different things that they've done at different stadiums. So the first round started off with completely no crowds whatsoever.
Yep.
And what they did at the end where the goals are, they actually put cardboard cutouts of random fans. Now, these were real fans. They were actual photos of real fans, which they contacted and said and made sure they would allow them to do it.
Yeah.
And they had cardboard cutouts of these fans in certain sections, mostly near where the end of the goal is, because when someone's kicking for goal, they'll normally have people there like screaming and shouting and
Yeah, yeah.
So it makes it somewhat more real.
Yeah.
They were doing it a bit in the last few rounds, but they're actually now allowing some people to games. I believe maximum of 10 to 20,000 are allowed in certain stadiums at the moment.
Oh, wow,
so
not bad.
They've come a long way in comparison to Victoria, unfortunately. Now, what they were also doing is, in the first round, they actually brought in fake crowd noise. Now,
Yes.
I'm not sure of the exact... I don't know if they were actually playing the crowd noise at the stadium. I don't think they were, because on the TV, you could actually hear the runners and the other players like yelling out to each other, which normally you wouldn't hear any of that whatsoever because the crowd is so loud.
Yeah.
So I believe it was just through the TV that they were doing that.
Okay.
But they were actually playing, like crowd noise, and if it got to a really intense part, they would kind of ramp it up a bit. If someone was going for goal, it would be even louder. The fourth quarter was a bit louder as well. So it was actually somewhat realistic. A lot of people were hating on it, but I kind of liked it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I thought it was good.
What I wanted to say was, in all those things, I really, really enjoyed it. Because imagine, I also had the same question as well, whether they were playing the crowd sound effects in the game or if it was just on the TV. Still don't know. But it's without that, it would just be a silent game. It would just be like watching it on silent.
Yeah, and for the players as well, they're used to being on the big stage and having, all this noise and people watching. And then you go down to, it's almost like playing a casual game with friends.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
You're expected to still have that same high level intensity, which, I mean, I don't think you would you?
It would, no, because the atmosphere would just feel completely different. It would just feel like you're practicing than actually playing. It's like...
I mean, you'd still be trying your hardest, but the adrenaline wouldn't be there, I don't think.
Yeah, 100%. So maybe, I wouldn't be surprised if those crowd sound effects are there in real life, just to make them feel like, the ambience is the same. It's a legitimate game.
Yep. Yeah,
and I think
so too.
I think the whole fan face cutout is really clever because, one, the fans would be more than happy to still be there in some way to support their team.
Yeah, 100%
Yeah,
they would.
like,
if I got asked, I'd be like, yeah, 100% do it.
Cut out 4 of me and place me in all corners of the stadium. I would say
they probably did that. They wouldn't have contacted like 1,000 people.
20. I wouldn't be surprised.
They probably contacted like 50 or 100 and just did multiples, I reckon.
Yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't be surprised if they actually if they charged people to have their cutout to still be there. You can't come to the game, but pay us this much and you can still be there in spirit and on TV. It's a good marketing scheme.
Yeah, I really like it. And one other thing they did as well, which, it is what it is, but look, they're allowed to tackle each other and obviously play game as normal.
Yeah.
But they can't high five. They have to elbow.
Oh.
They literally cannot high five each other. It's so strange. And also at the end of the game when they do interviews, the interviewer stands 1.5 meters away. And in the first round, it was quite hilarious because the interviewer had the microphone to her mouth, and then when it was the other when it was the player's turn to talk, she would just point it towards him, but her arm wasn't obviously 1.5 meters, so he had to talk quite loudly into it. They've now got like boom mics so that they can put that towards the players' mouth, so you can hear them better.
Yeah,
but it's just one of those things that I guess you have to follow the social distancing rules. But in terms of the players, they're literally tackling each other and pushing each other around, but they can't high five. It's a strange thing, isn't it?
A little bit contradictory.
Yeah, a little bit. I think it's more to set an example for others, which totally fair enough.
Yeah, it's fair enough because
it's just there's certain things that you just can't get around it.
Because you wouldn't be able to ban the tackling, because then that changes the game completely.
Exactly.
And another thing I really liked about the sound effects is that it wasn't just your usual like cheering here and there. like you said, there were specific sounds. Like when they would miss a goal, there would be like ooh and things like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's literally someone controlling the audio. Probably has the best job in the world, picking the right audio levels. So good on him.
Oh, 100%. It would have been actually quite difficult to do because you need different types of sounds and volumes, and you need to do it live and everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what it did remind me of? It reminded me of when we used to play on the Nintendo Wii, and we used to play that golf game, and then when the ball would roll really close to the hole, you'd hear the crowd going, ooh.
Yeah. In Wii Sports, right?
Yeah, Wii Sports, because they had all those kinds of sound effects.
That's true. That's so true. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, as soon as I heard it, it just reminded me of Wii Golf specifically.
Wii Golf.
Because I think they have the most crowd sound effects, ironically.
Yeah, even the Wii Tennis, and I think I'm not sure if the bowling did, but the Wii Tennis did as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's a throwback and a half.
Now, on the whole sports note, so have you heard, Gaurav, about what the NBA is doing? So the American basketball. Have you heard what they're doing at the moment?
No, I haven't. Last I heard, they had cancelled.
Well, funnily enough, there was a date set to restart the season, and I believe it was July 31.
Yeah.
From memory. Don't quote me on that, but it was somewhere around that. So what they decided to do is they decided to get not every team, because some teams are not doing that well, so they've just kind of said, we're not going to bother with you, you can come back next season.
Wow.
I think there was 20 teams out of the 30.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know the exact numbers, but it was something like that. So what they've done is they've actually created, in Orlando, this massive hub, or I think they're calling it a bubble. And they've basically got all the coaches, players, staff, and all that, and they've put them in this bubble, or this hub. They've quarantined them for, I think it was a week, and they had to get tests every single day to make sure they don't have the virus.
Yeah.
And they are now actually up and running with practices and all that, and it's all happening, I believe, in Disneyland in Orlando.
What?
Or Disney World. Yeah.
Okay, that is really cool.
It's quite amazing. They've basically just built NBA City. It's nuts.
Yeah,
like,
true.
There's bars there. There's the hotel rooms. It's absolutely nuts.
That's
what they've done.
Actually, very genius. So, is every team going to play the game in that one stadium?
There's probably multiple courts or something. I'm not exactly sure of the details.
But of course, there'll be like no traveling around the country and whatnot.
No, so that should make things a bit easier for the players, I reckon.
That is really cool. I'm actually super interested to see how that turns out. Yeah,
it is good for the players, but on the other hand, they're forced, I guess, to be away from their family and friends. So they're kind of basketball 24/7 where they are at the moment.
That's true.
But again, I wouldn't be complaining if I was in that situation.
Yeah, like Chris loves to point out, he's an absolute professional basketball player who carries around a tape measure with him to make sure public basketball rings are at athlete pro level. And when I say level, I'm talking to the centimetre. So that's our pro.
Yeah, that's right. So, there's a lot more information to come on that with the NBA, but it's quite exciting, and I'm pretty keen for it to come back because I'll be watching the games for sure.
Absolutely. Now, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the So Far So Good podcast this week.
Yeah, it's been great having you listening as usual. Hit us up on our Instagram. The comments are always good. We respond to every single comment. If you have any questions, send them through, and we will use them to ask each other as we do with our introductory questions. So send those through to us. And yeah, take care. And without further ado, we will catch you on the next episode.
Goodbye.